Hi there, Victor Pross speaking to you, anarchist artist. How you doing today? Okay, I'm talking to a camera. How you doing today? My God. Okay, now today, just to continue in the series of the folly of conversion. The folly of conversion. Once again, I'd like to stress, please watch the first video so that you don't walk in the middle of the movie asking others what the plot is about. So this is the second video of the folly of conversion. Okay, now in the last video I talked about the type of mentality which I think that for those who are anarchist or who are of a very unpopular philosophical stripe in the modern world. I mean, you have your talking donkey elephant heads who are in populist politics. You know, that's they're born and raised into it. You know, their families, their family, their mother and their father were Democrats. Therefore, guess what? They're Democrats. And same goes for a republic. You know, being a republic or whatever you were born and raised in, what kind of intellectual or anti-intellectual stews that you were born into and marinated around in. You had your brains dragged through it to back and forth into this fantasy of popular politics, and you know, the same goes for people how they accept their religious beliefs. You know, your parents were Catholic, and here you are, you were raised in that, and you're an adult, you know, and what are you? You're a Catholic, yeah! So this is hardly anything to do with kind of like having an honest, searching, probing desire for the truth to separate bullshit from facts. No, these are people who are just trying to get along with their fellows. You know, conformity is their value, and not rocking the boats and just licking the cultural winds, you know, because as far as they're concerned, there's safety in numbers, and the more people who believe a certain kind of idea, I guess that must be true. You know, who am I to argue with thousands of people? I guess this has always been accepted, so they accept whatever the cultural fantasies and customs and zeitgeist is. You know, they just take it lock, stock, and barrel. That's good enough for me. They get so deeply enmeshed into this, though, that when they encounter opposing ideas, fundamentally oppositional ideas, they get completely unraveled. You ever talk to two people who believe in God, but they might have like different ideas about what God's all about, but they both believe equally in this ridiculous superstition? There's a lot less hostility in between those types of two people, because you know they're spiritual brothers underneath the skin. When you get down to it, you know they have a very similar mindsets. This is that yeah, I was born and raised with this, and you're in the same pack as me. We understand each other's language of this common cultural fantasy, and that's our link. You know, so your God has a beard, mine's clean shaven. Who gives a shit, right? But as soon as you come across somebody with a fundamentally different oppositional ideas that has a greater foothold on the truth, okay, on factual, philosophical, scientific, demonstrative, provable, tangible facts, and people who are deeply enmeshed in a superstitious approach to life when it comes to religion or politics, then that's where the hostility really comes out. That's when the hostility really comes out. And but you, however, Mr. Anarchist, okay, you know, if you've come to your anarchism through just rigorous logic and not because of some kind of psychological aberration, just to be oppositional for its own sake, you know, you're some kind of pop culture Sex Pistol approach to life, your ear piercings, and yeah, you want to designate yourself as an anarchist because you got all this built-up teen angst. I'm not talking to those types of people. You know, fuck off. Stop wasting my time. I'm talking about people who are philosophically inclined, who have an honest pursuit of the truth, and if they've happened to, through their rigorous studies of political matters and philosophical matters, who've dug deep and who have come naturally, organically, sincerely, honestly to the conclusion that anarchism is a peaceful philosophy, that is a philosophy that is in accord with the non-aggression principle, that it's an ethical philosophy, that it's a way of discovering the truth by cleaning the slate clean from any kind of statist doctrine, from taking a fundamental oppositional approach to the idea that the only way to have a society of abundance is through violence and taxation and distributive wealth and so forth. Yeah, you know, that's an entirely different thing, and that's an entirely different mindset. It's an entirely different phenomena from the cult-like mentality that people are that is the standard today. And you know, those are the type of people that you know, they're so thoroughly marinated into this culture in an uncritical stupor. They've gone through the cultural indoctrination of mainstream popular beliefs. They've been exposed to all of these ideas through the culture at large. They've been through the indoctrination pins called schooling, public schooling, compulsory schooling, government indoctrination pens, as I like to say, where they're steeped into the gulag of propaganda. And the same goes for religion too. Even if later on they you know, have a disharmony with religion and they aren't really religiously active, they still have been exposed to a culture that is fundamentally religious in its approach. So whenever they encounter the anarchist, somebody who is so up against all the popular beliefs in opposition to the mainstream, and he's marching to the beat of his own drummer, as could be designated. And when they come across that type of person, you know, the first thing that comes out of their mouth, first thing that comes to their mind is that, and this is what Freud could very well be called, projecting. You know, it's just like they consider you as somebody who's you know, drank the Kool-Aid. Okay, right? I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, I find these things hilarious, just absolutely fucking hilarious. They're sitting there, they're projecting their own psychology onto you, and they're calling you closed-minded, and they're making all these despairing, condescending remarks about, you know, like, well, what else do you believe? Do you believe that space aliens are invading your mind because it's been set up by the government? You know, maybe there's a government official watching you in your soup. He's scuba diving in your soup, you know, and they just make all these cracks about what as if you were a part of a religious cult. But the fact of the matter is that anybody who's been born into this culture, okay, where statism, okay, where having a centralized monopoly on force, and whatever political stripe you give to yourself, Republican, you know, Democrat, whatever the mainstream popular donkey, elephant head mainstream politics that you're engaged in, this is the fundamental approach is that, you know, we need a government, we need overseers, we need a central planner, and fundamentally a cohesive society to get things done. I mean, this is the paradigm that they're enmeshed in. So, and we're all born into this belief system. I wasn't born an anarchist. It was a long intellectual haul to get to the position of the conclusions that I have today, which I think I've done a great deal of fucking work to get where I am today. I just didn't wake up one morning because I heard a Sex Pistol album, I'm an anarchist. No, I did the intellectual legwork, okay? I did the investigation. I did the study, okay? So I opened my mind. I have a wide open Grand Canyon mind. And these little fucktards are sitting there talking about that I'm closed-minded, that I've accepted some kind of like a cult belief and things like that. folks, whenever you get that, don't let it unravel you, man. Don't let these people get your gourd and get under your skin. Okay, they're just simply projecting their own shit onto you. It's not like they have some kind of razor lens honing in on you, where you're coming from and what you're about, and they're criticizing you and they're bang on target. They're on to something, you know. It's you know that they're not. All they're doing is their mental muck is their whatever the defense mechanism is, whether it takes the place of hostility or whether it's sarcastic jibes or humor and things like that, which is, you know, sarcastic jibes is always kind of like covert, hidden hostility. And sometimes it's just out-and-out hostility, right? Yeah, but don't waste your time with these people, seriously. I mean, you know, it doesn't... conversing for a little while, you know, you don't have to know somebody for years to find out if they're intellectually honest or not. It's very revealing from the get-go. So, you know, you just kind of like know intuitively or just know explicitly, you know, where they're coming from. So don't waste your time on these people. Don't let these people suck the marrow and the love and the passion, your lust for life and for ideas, for discovering truth from falsehood. And it's not only the arrival point, it's the discovery of new ideas. If you're anything like me, I know that this it generates you, it moves you, it fascinates you. It's very enlightening, it's very uplifting to you know, to discover fundamental truths. It could be scary sometimes, it could be disheartening, you know, when you find out unpleasant things, but you know, the truth shall set you free, as the saying goes. It has a religious connotation, I know, but there is something to be said for a love of wisdom and the pursuit of. It's like like for people who are artistic, it's like getting the spark of creativity and inspiration, you know, to create. You know, so the same thing can go for the students of ideas. So don't let these people suck the life out of you and bring you down. Don't let them bring you down or infest you with self-doubt or dread. Move on. Don't contaminate yourself with these toxic people. And so in the next video, just to dig a little bit further, deeper into the willfully ignorant mentality, I guess it's probably more preliminary remarks I've been making in this one, but it's Victor Pross signing out, anarchist, artist.